yes. Remember, for those of you who've just joined us after 3 o'clock, and remember it's 1 hour before the geese neck time. We are joined in the studio today with Debrose, the founder of Natural November.
In May.
Right? Well, in fact, yeah, this one will be Natural November in May. Yeah, I think the first one was in May itself. Was that right?
No,
it's always been
in November.
The first one was in November.
Yes.
November last year.
That's right. So this one, the tagline is it's Natural November, but in May.
And may Natural November get bigger and better.
Oh, we like that play on words. We love that play on words. Beautiful. So what I want to do is what I like to ask people is why? I mean, we talked a bit about the why, going out there, not really seeing the products that basically reflected our needs and who we are as a people. But what actually, that was a concept. Was that also the inspiration?
It was. And also, as time progressed, I realised that it was quite beneficial for sisters especially who are kind of borderline, who may be adopting a more European outlook, so not just with the way that they look, but also the way that they think. So just kind of giving them an outlet, or giving them somewhere to go to kind of help dispel the myths and to get transitional advice and to get information that they may find difficult to get elsewhere.
And I'm loving that, Ginja, because there is that thing is that sometimes as a woman, you might be in the makeup and the this and that, you think you want to make a change, but it's like, well, how, where? It's like back in the early, even to now, people think, oh, I want a locks, but how? Yeah, so it's about, like you said, that transitional change and that information that would give you the informed choice to move forward.
Exactly.
Because as women, we like to recreate ourselves, don't we? Because I do find, like, every year I think, okay, now what am I going to do different with my hair or with my dressing? Or we do like to recreate ourselves. And it is good to know that we can do it naturally.
Exactly.
And
There's so many different things you can do with your hair in its natural state. So it's not just locks, or there's sister locks, there's keeping it natural, there's afros, there's so many, but our hair is so versatile.
Yes, and this is what always sometimes saddens me, because like I said, what you do with your hair is personal choice. But when I know that there are sisters working along with these weaves, but I know even people from African descent, and underneath it is their good hair
that they are not maintaining.
Absolutely,
They'd rather spend time maintaining a weave,
right,
or maintaining nails, but not maintaining what is growing from their head.
Absolutely. Now, one of the things of it is that how long has your the concept been going now?
The first Natural November was last year at the Africa Centre, but it was the year before that, whilst attending a prevalent Afro hair shows where there weren't many Afros. It was there that I started to think I should actually be proactive and stop moaning, because moaning isn't going to get me anywhere. There's more questions than answers. Let me try to provide an answer. Let me try to provide a solution. So it was in 2010 that the concept came about, but I didn't actually do anything about it until last year.
And you see, this is good because, again, when we went to the women's, was it the females millionaire boot camp, and they said there is so much money to be made out there in this so-called recession. That's why I met these people fool you, because we've had sisters and to some brothers on the show in the last couple of years who've all set up because something wasn't quite resonating with what was going on with our community.
Exactly.
Right, so brilliant. So you said like 2010 concepts.
Yeah.
And now we're coming to 2012, where we're talking about the second event.
Yes.
So let's talk about, because people who listen know like my valleys and mountain experiences. So through these last few years, what has been that time that might make you think just to throw it all in?
There hasn't really been a time when I thought throw it all in. I have received, unfortunately, resistance from friends and family members whilst doing what I'm doing, whilst making the transition from the plantation into doing something that I feel I should be doing. So yeah, I've received a bit of resistance, which is unfortunate, but which I now accept it, a sad fact of life, but I now accept that is going to happen and may continue to happen as well, unfortunately. But yeah, just the resistance, frenemies.
Oh,
developed.
yes. Oh, yes.
I've developed a few of those, unfortunately.
Well, you do as you progress, you see.
Exactly. So that really is, when I think about that too much, that is quite sad. So that is when I feel that I am in the valley, but that's not preventing me from doing what I'm doing. There's still a lot of plans that I want to put into action. So this is only the start. So
Now, are you thinking of going global?
There will hopefully be a Natural November up north.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
that's out of the country, you know, because I went along to a, you know, the Caribbean Expo was going along.
Okay.
Yeah, in I think it was in March, end of March, April time, and one of the things they were asking for all the Caribbean countries was for fresh business ideas. And a lot of the sisters that were there, I was telling Culture about it, I was so proud of them because they are young 20, 30, 40, 50 odd year old sisters that want to start their business and take it back home.
Yes.
And I was just so empowered being in that environment to know that, okay, they're not just thinking of leaving it here, but exporting. So, you know,
that is most definitely a possibility, yes.
Yeah.
I feel that America, they already
Yes.
have their own,
They've got
so
it.
I don't need to try and infiltrate America because they've got so many different
That's
natural hair shows that are about. There's room for more than one, and the more the merrier, I feel, because we are the minority. So it's all about awareness, basically.
An interesting thing for me is that, like you said, in America, that you know, that it's not flooded, but it's better to go to an island where there is still this mindset about the good hair and the long neck, you know, and a certain lifestyle. And again, because I love that phrase when you talk about the sisters who are going through the transition.
Yes.
So it's not just only about those who know, but those who are getting
who
to know, who
want
want to know. And I think that's absolutely phenomenal. But going quickly back to the frenemy bit that you said, at least they expose themselves. At least you know who they are.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
They serve the purpose. They were of some benefit to my life. Times change, people change, so friendships have to evolve as well. So I do accept that.
And it's like that old saying I know I hold is that all people are there for a reason, some for a season, and some for a lifetime.
Exactly.
So that's good. So then moving on. So we've had the valley. Well, I think it was not even so much the valley experience, but the experience that made you more resilient. Yeah. But what really was that mountain peak experience? What was that?
The mountain. It was at the first event. I managed to sell a lot of tickets in advance, but I was still quite not nervous, but just anxious.
Yeah.
I had the butterflies in my tummy for a really long time, wondering, have I done the right thing? Do I really know what I'm doing? Because I'm not from the event organising background. I just thought, what needs to be done? When does it need to be done? How am I going to do it? So on the day, it was just so overwhelming, honestly. I'll never forget that day. There were people that turned up at about 11:15 in the cold on a Sunday waiting for the doors to open, and not even all of the exhibitors have turned up yet.
Black people?
Yeah.
Black people turn up at 11:15?
Exactly. On a Sunday in November, it was cold in central London. Honestly, I was just overwhelmed. And then as the time went on, it was packed. It was. I was so shocked. I was worried. I was thinking that... Sorry.
Yeah, no, carrying on, because I was just thinking, you said we were going to give Wilde Talk listeners a competition.
Yes.
Right now, I want you out there to call culture a fibber, because I said to Debrose, we're going to do this competition, but if there's a question, sometimes, I really want to respond, but Debrose is prepared to give away
a couple of tickets
yes, to the Natural November in May event. Now, this is going to be phenomenal. One of the reasons, obviously, Wilde will be there.
Yes, we've got our stall.
We've got our stall there, because remember, everything we do is about raising funds for the Creative Centre in Jamaica, and that also includes our turnaround dance. Anyway, a little more about that later. So the event is going to take place on Sunday, the 6th of May, from 11 to